friends, my name is Hardik and you're watching my Vedic Astrology channel in YouTube, AstroKeen. In this video, I'll be covering about 6th house and 6th house lord. So, how will a 6th house lord behave when it is present in different house? That's what I'll be covering in this video. So, let's start. What exactly is 6th house? 6th house is considered to be a Dustana house or a bad house. Sixth house represents diseases, sixth house represents debt, sixth house represents litigation, sixth house represents illness, sixth house represents competition, sixth house represents your daily routine or what you do on a daily basis. Sixth house represents small animals or pets. Now, how will a sixth house lord behave when it goes to different house? That to know that, first you need to see your chart and you need to see where what is your sixth house lord and where it is placed. For example, if you are a Aries ascendant, your sixth house is Virgo. Lord of Virgo is Mercury, so Mercury is your sixth house lord. Now you need to see where your Mercury is placed in your birth chart, and then you need to see how will it behave, what are the results that it will give. So, what will happen when a sixth house lord is present in the first house? First house is about you, your aura, your health, your confidence, your ego. It's about you. Now, when sixth house lord moves to first house or ascendant, your vitality, your health may get a little disturbed because sixth house is about diseases and that lord is moving to the first house. Now, the good thing about this is even if there is a possibility that your vitality or your strength or your health may get hampered, you're a person who's a very health conscious person. So what happens is when you see those kind of symptoms, you start taking care of your health. You're a person who's usually worried about his health. So if it's in limit, it's kind of a good thing because then you start taking care of your health. But if you unnecessarily think about your health always, then it can have adverse effect to you. So you need to be careful of that thing. Now these kind of people are highly competitive also. Yeah, these are the people, if sixth house lord in the first house is well placed and aspected by good planets, then you're a person who's ready to go all out and fight. These are the person who usually do not like a lot of varieties in their life. They kind of do the same kind of things on a daily basis. That's what you see when sixth house lord is present in the first house. Now what happens when sixth house lord is present in the second house? Now when sixth house lord is present in the second house, animals or small animals and pets become a very important part of your family. These are the people who you will see will have a lot of dogs, a lot of small animals with them as pets, and they'll be loving them. These are the people who may earn out of diseases or debt, or these are people you will see will be financial experts or doctors. That kind of a combination can be seen from when sixth house lord is present in second house. These are the people who like talking about diseases and debt and about cases, about competition and so on. The difficulty about this combination is some of your family members can become your enemies. That's a possibility. Now what happens when sixth house lord goes to the third house? It's generally a good combination. See, third house is about courage and sixth house is about competition. So these are the people who are very, very courageous, who are ready to fight. House is also about hand and a lot of work that involves hand. So these are good sports person are seen from this combination. Somebody who plays a basketball or a volleyball or a badminton or a tennis, cricket. So this kind of sports, you are you are a person who loves talking about diseases, loves writing about diseases, loves writing about financial articles and so on. Now what happens when sixth house lord moves to the fourth house? Now one of the difficulties with this combination is you may have a strained relationship with your mother. Also you need to take care of your heart, so you may have some kind of heart elements. So you need to be careful of that thing. Also there's a possibility that you may go into debt because of buying some property or buying some uh, vehicles and so on, that can force you to go into debt, or some kind of cases may come in your name and so on. So you need to be careful of that. What happens when sixth house lord moves to the fifth house? When sixth house lord moves to the fifth house, there's a possibility that you may get involved in speculative businesses, because of which you may lose a lot of money and go into debt. There can also be a possibility of your uh, relationship with your children may get hampered. Your children may start not liking you much. That's also a possibility with this. What happens when sixth house is present in the sixth house? It's its own house, so that's kind of a good combination. It's also called as Viparita Raja Yoga, where if things happens, in adverse situations, some kind of a miracle happens, or some kind of support you can get. That's what is Viparita Raja Yoga, when sixth house lord is present in eighth house, 12th house, or sixth house. So when a sixth house lord is present in sixth house, you're able to fight with your enemies, you're able to fight with diseases. You're a person who's ready to fight with the world. You have that competitive spirit and all. What about sixth house lord being placed in seventh house? It's considered to be a very difficult combination, because sixth house is moving to a house which is about relationship, which is about marriage. So what happens is that, I have already told in my previous videos as well, seventh house lord moving to sixth house, or sixth house lord moving to seventh house, kind of makes the married life difficult. Of course, if it has support from other planets and it's doing well in other charts, in D9 chart and all, then the effects kind of reduces. But on a general way, or generally speaking, it can be a challenging uh, combination from a marriage point of view, or from a relationship point of view. You should not go into businesses as well, not into partnership. These are difficult things, because your partners may become your enemy. Because of business, you may fall into a lot of trouble. So you should avoid those things. What happens when sixth house lord moves to eighth house? When sixth house lord moves to eighth house, then it can mean that you are a person who tries to heal people, or who tries to take care of diseases through holistic healings or alternative healings, who looks into spirituality, reiki and so on, to heal people or heal diseases. This can also mean that your daily routine, or or sex becomes a part of your daily routine. You're very, very, you do it on a daily basis, or on a consistent basis. Sex becomes a very, very important part of your life. In a negative way, it can also mean that you may have some kind of ailments related to your sexual organs. You need to be careful of that thing. Now, what happens when sixth lord moves to the ninth house? Now, when sixth lord moves to your ninth house, this can mean that your relationship with your father may be difficult. With your teachers, it can be challenging. You may fall in some kind of trouble while traveling to for a long distance travel. While traveling to some long distance places, you may fall in trouble. What happens when sixth house lord moves to the 10th house? When sixth house lord moves to the 10th house, this can mean that you kind of, your work is very routine, is very monotonous, is you do the same kind of thing on a daily basis. It can also mean a person who whose work revolve around finance, or revolves around medicines. You take care of diseases. So a doctor can have this kind of a combination. A person working in bank can have this kind of a combination. It can also mean that you may go through a lot of difficulties in your professional life, right? Some kind of a difficulties in your professional life. That's also big, if that sixth lord is badly placed, or is afflicted. What happens when sixth lord moves to 11th house? When sixth lord moves to 11th house, this can mean that your friends can become your enemies. You need to be careful of that thing. This can also mean that, because of wanting more gains, or because of your desires, you may go an extra mile and then fall in trouble. If sixth house is present in 11th house, this can also mean that you may gain lot of things from debt, or things related to debt. You You may be a person who lends a lot of money to other people, uh, for them to kind of cover up their debts. You're somebody who gives a lot of loans to people. Now, what happens when sixth house lord moves to 12th house? Again, Viparita Raja Yoga, like sixth house in sixth house or eighth house. This is generally a good combination. This can mean that your daily work is revolving around asylum or jail and so on. So you may be working in a jail or you may be working in asylum. So 6th house and 12th lord can also mean that you may go into the spiritual life, you may go the spiritual path, but then your spiritual path will not have a lot of ups and downs. It will be more of daily routine kind of a thing where you get up in the morning, do puja, then do some kind of a yoga, then maybe do meditation. So it will be kind of systematic way. On a daily basis you'll be doing this kind of things. Sixth house lord in 12th house can also mean that you can be a person who's a mental patient, or somebody who can you know land up in a jail because of some kind of criminal activities. That is also seen from this combination, because sixth house is also about competition, sixth house is about enemies and so on. So there is a possibility that you may, and 12th house is about you know uh, prison. So it can also mean, as I said before, that you may kill your enemy and get into the jail. That is also a possibility, but these are rare conditions. It can happen when the sixth lord is present in 12th house and is highly afflicted, right guys? So I hope you have got some general understanding about sixth lord and how does it behave in different houses. If you have any more queries, you can mention in the comment box and I'll be happy to answer them whenever I get time. Please do subscribe to my channel. Please share this video if you like it. Take care. Bye bye.